Greetings. I want to wish welcome to prospective residents and fellows at Children's National. I'm Nate Cooperman. I serve as the Chief Academic Officer and the Chair of Pediatrics. I'll say that residency and fellowship training is a fundamental period in the life of an academic physician, but not just for the obvious reasons. It's a time of great bonding, of shared experiences, many of them stressful and life-changing. I made some of my very best friends of my life during my residency and fellowship training.
Hi, I'm Devesh Agarwal, and I serve as our Vice Chair of the Department of Pediatrics, overseeing medical education here at Children's National Hospital. Clinically, I'm a pediatric emergency medicine physician, and I've been here at Children's National since 2003 as faculty. In my prior educational role, I had the privilege of serving as our institution's pediatric residency program director for 13 years. And in that role, had the honor and privilege of training 500 pediatricians, of whom I'm quite proud.
Welcome to Children's National, everyone. We are so excited that you are considering spending the next few years of your medical training here with us in Washington, D.C. My name is Jessica Hippolyte. I am one of the pediatric emergency medicine attendings. I have a deep passion and love for medical education, for working with trainees, and supporting trainees during their medical training time here with us. And so in that spirit, I am currently the Assistant Vice Chair of Education, as well as the Associate Program Director for Professional Development for the Pediatric Residency Program. I have a unique perspective because I was in your shoes not too long ago as a trainee myself. I was a pediatric resident here at Children's National. I stayed on for a chief resident year and just graduated a year ago from the Pediatric Emergency Medicine Fellowship and stayed on for a faculty position.
I'm Neha Shah, and I serve as the Associate Vice Chair of Medical Education here at Children's National. In this role, I partner closely with Dr. Devesh Agarwal, our Vice Chair of Education, to provide strategic leadership and oversight for medical education across all levels, trainees and faculty alike.
If you were to come here to Children's National, you'd be coming to the right place for a number of reasons. First of all, we have a great community. There is a esprit de corps and a sense of partnership and collaboration here, which is great. We're a top 10 children's hospital, both clinically and in research productivity.
I want to start by describing why I love Children's National and why this institution deserves your strong consideration for potential graduate medical education training. Children's National Hospital, like the city of Washington, D.C., in which we're located, has a small town feel, but with all the benefits of being sort of in a huge, thriving, top pediatric academic medical center.
A lot of people often ask me, like, why have you been at Children's National for so long? What's kept you here? And I think that's an excellent question. When I think back to where I was, 8, 9 years ago in a similar position potentially to you, I was thinking about where do I want to spend the next few years of my medical training. And I thought there were so many wonderful and very special things about Children's National that I hope to share with you today.
I'm what you might call a lifer. I did my undergrad and medical school at GW, completed my pediatric residency training right here at Children's National, and then stayed on for a pediatric hospital medicine fellowship. After fellowship, I stepped into the role of PHM Fellowship Director. This was my introduction to the GME world, one of the highlights of my academic journey.
Basically, if you were to come here to train, whether you want to be a clinician in the community, or you want to be a world-class researcher, or you want to work in the policy field or anything else, you can do it all after you train here at Children's National. You have great mentorship, there's great leadership, and a lot of different opportunities.
I'm super excited that you may be interested in pursuing graduate medical education here at Children's National, because I know that we do things differently here. And frankly, I think we do things better. Our goal is to train holistically, and we approach each trainee with individualized attention, keeping at the forefront the wellness of each trainee while also providing a rigorous training experience. And as an educator, I truly believe that the highest achievements and greatest rewards of our careers in academic medicine are not the papers that we publish, rather they are the people we train. For they, or should I say you as a potential trainee here, represent the future and the future of our field. And we're incredibly blessed here at Children's National to have such diverse, passionate, and talented physician trainees in our GME programs to work alongside and to help train.
Another thing that I think about what's kept me here at Children's National for so long is this real culture of mentorship and professional growth. This institution really invests in its people, and it's really about not just preparing you to be an excellent clinician, um, but really our focus is to really learn about who you are personally, learn about who you are professionally, ask you like what it is that you want to accomplish, not only when you're here for your medical training, but when you potentially leave Children's National, or if you stay at Children's National for further training or as a faculty member. It's really important that we get to know all of our trainees on that personal and professional level so that we can learn what it is that you want to accomplish with your career, and provide you not just the clinical training, but all the other aspects that are going to help you be a great clinician, a great physician, a great academician. And so you are going to be surrounded by a graduate medical education leadership team that is extremely invested and extremely supportive of you, as well as your program directors, the faculty, other colleagues. Our goal is to learn about you and what it is that you want to get out of your training, and give you the skills, and the experiences that are going to help you thrive, not just when you're here, but throughout your career. And so our faculty and our graduate medical education team is deeply committed to your academic growth, to your professional and leadership development. And there's tons of different pathways, projects, conferences, and ways for us to support you and provide you with a wonderful learning environment.
For prospective candidates, that means you can trust that we invest in the professional development of our educators, because training the next generation of pediatricians and pediatric subspecialists is at the heart of what we do. My passion truly lies in developing others, supporting their growth, and promoting lifelong learning.
Our research is really world class. We do research from the community all the way to global health, and we're a top 10 NIH funding recipient.
But on top of that, we're a full-fledged top 10 pediatric academic medical center, providing quaternary care medicine to not only the children of the region, but also to the nation and internationally, as all foreign embassies are based here in Washington, D.C. Now, what does this mean for you and for your potential training here? Well, you will see the full spectrum of pathology and diseases on our floors, from the garden variety bronchiolitis presenting in respiratory failure to the most esoteric genetic syndromes. Every summer, as an emergency medicine physician, I diagnose malaria in our ED, not because it's endemic in this part of the country, well, at least not yet with global climate change, but because we have a large international population of children who travel for the summer to their ancestral homes to different parts of this globe and come back here to Washington, D.C. with malaria. But not only will you see the full spectrum of clinical care here, you will have the opportunities to participate in cutting-edge research with our academic pediatric faculty while also advocating for core children's health issues on Capitol Hill. And I think this combination of training opportunities in clinical care, research, and advocacy are unparalleled at any other top children's hospital in our nation.
I would say one of the first things is the clinical excellence here at Children's National Hospital. You've probably heard we are one of the top 10 children's hospitals within the world. And that's really what you're going to get here is some world-class clinical training. And, as a trainee, I think one of the things that's really important is that you are part of an institution that is not just going to expose you to excellent clinical training with the bread and butter pediatrics and teach you the foundational cases to help make you a confident and well-rounded pediatrician, but that you're also going to see some of those complex and more rare diagnoses, those, things that we call the zebras, the things that you hear about or you read about, but you don't necessarily get to see all the time. And those are the types of cases and patients and families that you're going to be able to get an opportunity to learn about and learn from and take care of here at Children's National. And so the clinical excellence here is really outstanding. It was very important for me to be at an institution where I was exposed to very high volume, high acuity cases that were going to prepare me for any challenge. I wanted to graduate feeling that I was confident in my clinical decision-making skills, that I felt confident that I could practice autonomously, and that I would be prepared for any situation that walked through the doors, whether it was low volume, low acuity, high volume, high acuity. And you're going to get that entire breadth during your medical training. And so it's commitment to service, it's commitment to the community, and it's commitment to teaching us to be providers who can practice equitable care is something that every single graduate of Children's National will leave feeling that they can do, and they can do with purpose and with confidence.
As Associate Vice Chair, I help ensure that our programs meet the highest standards, whether it's LCME, ACGME, or CME. But beyond compliance, we're deeply committed to fostering a culture of interprofessional education and educational scholarship.
For those of you who are interested in globalism, we have a very powerful global health initiative, which we are continuing to grow. For those who are interested in advocacy, just out the window here, you might be able to see some of the congressional buildings. We, of course, are very close to the Capitol, and we have a very strong advocacy tract for residency, and we do a lot of visits to Capitol Hill.
So like the city of Washington, D.C., where we have all the diversity you might expect from a metropolis in terms of theater, arts, dining, entertainment, etc. But there's also plenty of parks, greenery, bike lanes, and there are no skyscrapers here in Washington, D.C. And the people of D.C., politics aside, are generally friendly, like Children's National.
I think one of the other pillars that is really a part of Children's National is its commitment to its community and to the idea of really practicing social medicine. Children's National is more than a hospital. It really is the fabric of DC. I think it's really hard to find a patient or a family or anyone in the city really who doesn't have ties to this institution. It's impacted the lives of so many patients, of so many families, and of its community. And I love its commitment to community engagement. You can't graduate from Children's National not having an understanding of the needs of your patients in the community. You can't graduate from Children's National not having learned about social determinants of health and the health inequities that exist both in our region but nationally and globally, and not only learn about them but really feel prepared to tackle those disparities in health and prepare you to be a physician who is not only an advocate but a physician leader and who is able to provide equitable care for every single child that walks through our doors. And so I love that Children's National really has a firm commitment to its community, and that the work that we do does not just exist within the walls of the hospital on 111 Michigan Avenue, but it is really palpable and it is really felt throughout the community.
Why do I stay at Children's National? Hands down, it's the people. I get to work with some of the most talented and innovative faculty and trainees around. It's invigorating and it truly fills my cup. And outside of work, I love DC. The history, the culture, the diversity of people, and yes, the food scene is incredible.
We also focus on wellness, physician wellness from the residency level through faculty level, and we are very invested on making work and life live together.
I also want to underscore our commitment to your medical education at Children's National and describe the immense investments we have made to assure that you receive the education you deserve, while should you decide, or should the NRP decide for you, to train here at Children's National. So just as the medicine and medical treatments we provide our patients should be evidence-based, right? That's evidence-based medicine. We here at Children's National know that the education we provide our trainees should also be evidence-based. That's evidence-based education. And that's the mantra of our educational leaders here at Children's National. And we actually put our money where our mouths are. The most concrete example of this is our Master Teacher Program. We're now well over 100 of our core teaching faculty have received master's level education in medical education through partnership with the GW School of Education. And the rewards of this investment in our faculty are reaped by our trainees at all levels, from medical students, residents, fellows, because our core faculty develop new teaching approaches, new training approaches, assessment tools to assure that our trainees are provided the most cutting-edge training experiences possible.
Thanks for taking a moment to get to know me. I hope to see you here at Children's National, where education, community, and excellence come together.
And it really, when I think about the fact that I've been here now for 9 years, I think I stayed here because this place didn't just shape me. It's continued to support me and it's continued to challenge me. I've continued to grow both as an educator, as a clinician, as an advocate, as a leader. And that all started when I walked through these doors, 8, 9 years ago. It's a place where I know that I can have an impact not only on my patients, but on my colleagues and on the future generation of pediatricians. And if you're looking for an institution that's going to challenge you clinically, that's really going to invest in you personally, and that's going to empower you to lead change, Children's National really is that place for you to spend the next couple of years of your medical training. So we are excited that you are here. We are excited that you are considering joining us. And we are an institution that really is here and committed to its trainees and to supporting you every step of the way. So we hope to see you as a trainee in the near future.
And as a vice chair of medical education, I want to assure that the training you receive at Children's National will equip you with the knowledge, skills, and abilities to measurably impact the health of all children of our nation for generations to come. So with that, I implore you to strongly consider training at Children's National, and hopefully some of what I said has resonated with you, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Looking forward to meeting you for those who come to interview and for those who ultimately come here. And please feel free to reach out for any further questions. Thanks so much.